Once again, welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott. And greetings, blessings, salutations, and love. Once again, welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott, and we are back. I'm back after taking a day off, regrouping, kind of exploring some of the inner cobwebs, inner doubts, some of the shadows within myself, and I feel like I'm back, right? One way or another, I am here and I'm offering forth greetings and blessings to all of you. Anyone who tunes in at any time, you hear my words, may your hearts smile. May your wonderful dreams continue to grow for you in this crazy life we are living, man. My blessings to all of you. Happy Labor Day today, right? I debated what am I going to do, and today it felt right, being that it is here in America Labor Day. And the Jack Talcott I know, I am a man who I care for labor, workers, right? The working class, the blue collar, right? That's me. Folks who work for a living. You know, the thing we sell, the thing we have to sell is our labor, our talents, our energy. I know workers. I love workers. My background brought me through an education into the history of labor. So who I am today, I am Jack Talcott, man. I am pro-labor. Happy Labor Day to you. And I am anti-work. Man, people work too hard, in my opinion, because we don't work cooperatively. So today the idea is the tradition of Labor Day. It's a day to recognize the contributions, the sacrifices, and the achievements from those who do labor in our society, where a day off from work is a reward of those who have to work to pay the bills. Seems kind of absurd to me, but hey, this is the land of the American dream, where all we do is dream and fantasy and we pretend. So let's pretend like today is the new beginning. Let's pretend like today starts the rest of our lives. And let us be with the days that we are, and let our labor be done with love. Let our work, our efforts, our intentions be pure, right? Doing things for the purpose of love, not necessarily just a paycheck. Not just necessarily for the attaboy, right? Doing things that are righteous, doing things that are towards justice. This is a pattern that I want to reinforce with as many people as I can. The fact that despite the appearances of the world, despite the man-made organisms organizations, despite the man-made structures that defy the natural order of life. It is justice. It is righteousness. Justice and righteousness are that which prevails, particularly if there's good men and women around, because as long as there's good men and women around, justice and righteousness will be. It's only when there's corrupted men and women around that the injustices and that which is not righteous, that's where that rises to power. And we've got systems of control in the corporations, in the governments. These systems of control, it draws the corrupted, right? Because corrupted people, they want the power, so they have the control. Well, honest people, they're not really seeking control. They are seeking order. They're seeking justice. They're seeking righteousness. And that's where I try to align me with, is not so much trying to fight for power, but how about fighting for fairness? That's what I've been doing. That's what my background in labor taught me. It's what it showed me. I spent 14 and a half years as a shop steward and a local officer for my my union back home. And in that time, I got to understand the greater picture, not just in the organization. I was at the United States Postal Service, for those who may not know, but I got to see the small picture and the bigger pictures and the way they all kind of intertwined with each other. From the big picture of the federal government, the state government, and these international corporations, I could see how it all comes out. But looking into the history of labor, do you know how many men and women here in America, despite the slavery battle where color was a big factor, despite that atrocity here in America and the genocide wiping out the indigenous peoples here, there has been a battle against the working class from the beginning. It's even before America was started, because it's been the patterns of mankind throughout history, allowing these wealthy rulers to set the conditions for everybody else to have to survive with. In the meantime, the wealthy ones setting the conditions, they're just exploiting the working class. It's been throughout time. So, if we want today to be, if we can accept that today is a new beginning for the future, what say we change it? What say we change the ways of the past? We change the direction of the future simply by redefining within ourselves, getting clarity within ourselves of what is and is not important. That could be what is and is not important can change for each of us moment by moment throughout our days, right? Because we all have varying needs, but there's one underlying thing that we all need, and it's critically important, and that is love. Truly, in the background, today, I've got the "Love is the Answer" image for us. And love really is the answer we all want to hear. We all want to feel. We all want to know. But there's a doubter inside of us. There's a negative part of us that won't find the love. It'll keep the being away from love. That mind within, the doubter, the analyzer, the accuser, it plays the role of the devil. It's all within you, as is the spirit of goodness. The mind of the infinite mind is available to you, just as it is to me. We all have, by grace, by gift, by perfect design of how we are made as a man, as a woman, as a human being, we've got these incredible bodies that are sensory machines, right? It's like a fine-tuned piece of equipment that tunes in to good ideas. It tunes in to the energy of the world around you. Some people recognize that in themselves. There's a term thrown around a lot these days, empaths, right? People who are real empathic and they tune into the energies of others, and they can feel. You can feel the energy in a room some places, sometimes, right? Come in right after there's been a fight. It may not be active, but you can sense the energy of tension, right? There's all these ways our human bodies can tune in to receive what life offers. But there's a disconnect in the majority of people in our world today. And in my view, admittedly, I'm speaking from America, right? So my view is through the lens of where I am and where I've been raised, the language I know, the customs I see. My lens is through that, but mankind seems disconnected. We're disconnected from the Most High. We're disconnected from justice. We're disconnected from righteousness. We're disconnected from love. But it seems that way, but I know in my heart it is not, because I know from my experience and understanding, it is only love that is. It is love that allows life to be. Now, many people in their life, because of the society we've got where everyone's focused on the material objectives, right? They find their value in their work, find their value in their paycheck, find their value in their partner, but they're missing out on the true value, which is you. The life force that you are is a reflection of God's plans. The life force who you are is a reflection of God's plans, because we are part of this unfolding of time, and we're alive here on earth at a truly, truly magical time. The possibilities are so infinite. Are we going to continue this path of self-destruction, or is mankind going to wake up and do what's right? I think people are ready to wake up and do what's right, but they got to get past the anger. They got to get past the fear and the hate. It's the only way that love can be known. So the teachings from the Bible, the teachings from Jesus, the words and the deeds, the action of forgiveness. Forgiveness is the key. If we're going to have peace in this world, people need to be conscious with each other about what they do, what they say, even what they think. Because when people aren't conscious about what they're thinking or saying or doing, we end up with these lives based on routines and habits and reactions. And it's really, we're missing out on the purpose. The purpose of life is to grow. And I felt like I was growing at some points in my life. In the past few years, I mean, my story is what it is. My life began again, January 1st of 2018. That's when I chose that day would become the beginning of the rest of my life. And I've been living that way ever since. Each day is the beginning of the rest of my life. And I do not know where my life is going to take me. Not anymore. But it's brought me to where I am here and now, where I consider West Baltimore to be my home. And here from West Baltimore, I'm not that far away from the circus and the clowns in Washington, D.C. And if we're going to have peace on this world, and if we're going to have reforms where labor is truly honored, where We share labor, we share responsibilities, we share rewards, we share life as though life was intended to be shared. If we move mankind into that direction, people won't have to work so hard, because when there's cooperation instead of competition, things just kind of flow a lot better. That's the way it's been shown in my life, at least. But maybe I'm different. Maybe I really am different than others. There's people that certainly think they're different than me. But with that, today I'm in a better space than I was the other day. I'm feeling more at peace with the divine, with God, and with who I am. And today, the topic, right? I'd love if folks are available and interested. Let's discuss these topics of labor, work, history of labor and work, and compensation. Because we got to look into what is the reward of this work and the labor. I mean, if you look out into the world, any city you are in, look at the structures, the bridges, the roads, the buildings, the power, everything that you see was created by men and women doing the labor. And even today, we have the conveniences where I'm at, have the conveniences. I don't even have to deal with the sewage. I just flush it down and it goes away, right? The trash, I just got to make it outside to the can. Someone takes my trash, takes it elsewhere. I don't have to deal with it. I don't have to go to the dump and all this stuff. See, that's the benefit of society, of community, sharing support with each other to get things done so that everyone's standards of living can be improved. So mankind, through the development, the evolution of societies, the different kingdoms and principalities, the different empires and colonies, through all of these different structures, mankind collectively has learned a lot, right? We've made a lot of mistakes in the past, right? Here in America, they used to put lead pipes in, right? And the children are drinking lead. They got lead in the paint, putting asbestos in all the buildings. There's same problems like that happening today, where corporations and governments are putting things on the shelves and consumers are just throwing it down their face. And we don't know the long-term repercussions of some of these experimental medications or praise God. I do hope I make sense to others. I do hope some of you are understanding what I'm getting, because thousands of years. Yes, this has been going on for thousands of years, and we are here to bring the change. Anarchy can be when people are sovereign, when they rule themselves. Anarchy is the solution, because if everyone lived like Jesus, we'd have no jails, we'd have no crime, we would have true sovereignty. And we've got a guest, one who I know can discuss many different topics. I just wonder if we can discuss things with me. Welcome back, Tommy. How are you today?
Are we positive or negatively in the past today?
Positive, I think.
Yeah, you said I can discuss many things, and that's an understatement. Jack, are you saying Jesus is an anarchist? Huh?
I didn't say that, but it would fit the
In a
description.
roundabout way, it sounded like it.
Yeah, in a roundabout way it is.
Maybe you could get on Brian from High Impact Flicks and trigger your daddy. He considers himself an anarchist.
You know what? I would like to talk to Brian again, but him and I
know you'll back. I see his numbers. I know you'd love to talk to him.
Yeah. But he and I have disagreements on the money system. He's still caught up on the capitalism is good.
Well, we could probably say anything is good or bad. off of subjective outlook. I mean, I agree that the products out here are bad, but I disagree that you're talking like they're not clearly stating the contents of these products, and we have the choice to spend our meaningless evil fiat on the products that we choose. So it's kind of the free chaotic universe aspect.
Yeah, but do you disagree that people have lost? I see that they've lost sight. They focus on money and not on actual products or value. Can you see that?
I disagree that you sum up mankind rather than individuals, because there are people that do that. But as
Yeah.
far as people in general, we're all, at least in America, free to do we. And that doesn't seem to be good enough for some people.
Yeah, I don't see you're trying to understand. I see you're still kind of
Oh, you have disagreements. I
well,
understand what you're saying. How do
Tom,
I not understand what you're saying?
because you're finding reasons to disagree, and
I am, because I do.
but you don't have to.
You're summing it up as a everything is this, and I'm saying not everything.
Right, right. So just because
So
you found
are you willing to be wrong?
yes, Tom, but you're not willing to let me get to the point.
Oh,
So
whenever you asked if I agreed with the thing, I thought that meant your point was there to agree or disagree with.
it was for the purpose of conversation, but
We're
you're clearly not interested in talking about what I want to discuss, Tommy. And I don't have to convince you of anything. I don't have to prove anything. But you're not even allowing me to get to the point when every time I speak, you find a disagreement.
Jack.
Can we find a different way? I do, Tom.
Then why the hostility?
What did you hear me say?
The thing you said implies you wouldn't have this hostility over disagreements. You're trying to have a conversation. What I think you mean to say is you're trying to get us all on your page and agree with you.
I'm trying to get my page, I'm trying to get it out so that you stop with this idiocy of arguing against everything I say.
Jack, if the things you say would not be so black and white of all mankind, it would be easier to agree.
Tom, it would be easy to agree if you just accepted what I say and then well, no, it's part of understanding, Tom. I mean, here.
Jack, we understand what you're saying. This is deflection.
No, Tom, there are methods to the mind, Tommy. There are steps for communication. There are steps for learning and growing in understanding. I have been studying those steps, Tommy.
You said,
so
you said there's
listen to me.
Oh, I was trying to have a little fun, Jack. You seemed on edge. But since you don't want to have fun and you don't want to have conversations, let me just say this. Last night I became full Inglorious Bastards when I watched your brother OTW try and divert and deflect history away from his accountability and responsibility. Jack, I want my scalps. And when you try and escape this Panelverse country, me and my bear Jew will be there to carve a swastika in your forehead.
Okay. I'm sure that made sense to you, Tom. Holy cows. Praise God. I do hope that there are folks who tune in that understand me a little bit better than Tom. Because where I was trying to go with the idea that people have, even the working class, I was guilty of it myself. This is why I know it's so common. There's a lot of people like me. I placed a paycheck over my happiness. I placed a paycheck over my health. I placed a paycheck over everything. Looks like I just froze. Holy cows. Looks like I froze or something there. Um, but the idea is we don't have to let a paycheck control us. We don't have to let budgets and regulations and rules from other people control us. Now, we do have to interact with whatever life brings to us. We've got to be responsible with our commitments, with our choices. We want to abide by the rules. We want to abide by others. However, part of individual maturity means knowing when to walk away. And sometimes walking away is in direct defiance of the rules, right? So every one of us is on our own life path. I recognize that. Each of us has our own foundation of knowledge and memories. We've each got our own ideas of what different things mean in the world. But the world we live in, it is not as it seems. It's up to you to find it, though, just like it's up to me to find it. What does this world mean? What is the truth of what I see? What is the truth of what I hear? What I've been learning to do, you follow what Jesus said. Seriously. You walk with love. You love God. You love life, because every other person is a reflection of you, just like Tommy is a reflection of me. Him and I, we have similar patterns of behavior. They're not exactly the same. I've certainly not done some of the things he has done, but he's probably not done some of the things I've done. I know he's not done some of the good things I've done, but each of us, we are reflections of one another. There is a karmic path when it's just karma being cause and effect. There's a path of cause and effect that we found ourselves upon. That is the way. The way for you is similar to the way for me, but it's going to be different because it's you. Now, to simplify the many different variations, the many different the variations, what I found for myself, what I have to do is I have to be me. And it took me a long time to accept me as someone who was worthy of my trust, of my love, of my friendship. Because I carried around a lot of unworthiness inside of myself, and I didn't understand it. I didn't know where it came from. But the more I've looked into psychology and how the mind works, it's just simple. It's just simple childhood trauma. That's all it is. Childhood trauma makes us forget who we are. And then we live this false identity, holding on to diagnosis or fears or habits. And then we don't know who we are. And then at some point, we may awaken and we'll realize, oh shit, I really don't know who I am anymore. And if that happens to you, congratulations. Okay. Because then it's true for you. When you wake up and you realize you don't know who you are anymore because you've been playing this character that just wastes time, that's always fighting, always complaining, always negative. You know, you don't have the energy to get things done. If that's the character you've become and you wake up to realize, I don't know who I am anymore, congratulations. Your life begins today. And even if you do have an idea of who you are and why you are, congratulations. Your life begins right now. If you allow it, if you allow your life to begin right now and you can give yourself a clean slate, say, yep, I don't deny my mistakes. I don't deny my flaws. I am who I am, and I accept me for who I am. Then you got a starting point. And then you know where you're going to start. You're going to start here, and you're going to start now. And what direction do you want? That's up to you. But this is another key. To know who you are, you need to get to know your heart. What do you want? What do you want for you? What do you want for you, for others? These ideas, if you don't know what you want, it's because you're probably focusing on what you don't want. And that's the ego mind, the devil inside. It's focused on what we don't want. And what you don't want, you focus on that, you're going to take yourself to what you don't want. That which you fear inside. If you do not face your fear, you'll carry these signals of fear within you. And that signals of fear, you carry those signals of fear within you. You're going to tell the universe, I need you to show me this. And so you'll face your fear either internally through conscious inner work, or you're going to attract your fears, and you will see yourself facing your fears. You will see yourself becoming a reflection of that which you hate. These are things that happened to me. I faced many fears. I accept responsibility. I created those situations because I couldn't escape my fears. I'm still dealing with the repercussions of the choices of the past where my fears were faced. The family, the job, the career, the retirement, the reputation, it goes on and on. But during the time of facing my fears, as I was doing my inner work inside of me, trying to figure out who I had become and who do I want to become, it was when I looked at my patterns of the past, I became what I hated. I became a version of an angry man that I was raised with. I became a version of a powerless drunk for those that I judged. I even became a soldier after judging the military for their blind obedience and stupidity. God took me on this path where everything I judged, I became. So, you know what I learned? I try not to judge. Other people can be other people. They're just on a different path than me. And just because I see someone who's different than me, even if it is obnoxious and cruel and even evil, it's not me, but it is a reflection of me. And for me to find more strength in me to become a man who I loved, I had to stop judging others. I had to love the whole me, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And so if I can offer that to me, the love for the good, the bad, and the ugly, I can certainly do it temporarily for someone else, right? Someone else who I don't see, but for a few moments in my life. Every one of us are just fleeting figures, right? We're just ideas that come through and out of an experience. Um, I realize I'm kind of pointing at two different directions here in my words. I tend to do that, I guess. But the idea is to live with love, to live with peace in the present moment, knowing that God's job for you, the purpose of me and you, is to be who we are authentically, freely, comfortably. The idea of comfort and freedom, the outside can give you tastes, it can give you examples of what to look for, but true comfort and freedom, true life, it's all on the inside. And what you grow within you What you spend time with you, for you, whether it's your grief, your sadness, your anger, your despair, your love, your joy, your creativity, whatever you spend time with, that's what you're going to grow more of with you. It's just a simple basic rules of familiarity, right? You spend time with something, it gets familiar. The more familiar it is, the more comfortable it is. The more comfortable and familiar, it's real easy to lose sight of. You no longer appreciate the comfortable and the familiar because they've grown so comfortable and familiar, and then you don't appreciate them until they're gone. I'm going to take a chance. Welcome back, Tom.
I don't want you to appreciate me too quick, Jack. And I noticed that you're up here kind of floundering, so just like your daddy, I'll throw you a bone, but I want to have an actual in the now conversation. I don't need this shit where I'm on your subject and you try and tell me I'm not present, that I don't understand. That's you floundering in your nothingness.
I didn't follow that.
Well, you're not listening.
Well, I'm not floundering in my nothingness. I wasn't just rambling
When I'm talking about your subject matter and responding to show I'm hearing what you say, and you say I'm not present or on topic, that's floundering in your nothingness.
Okay. Thank you for that clarification. Thank you for that clarification.
Have you ever seen Inglourious Basterds?
Seems I have. I can't recall it. Is that the one where they went and tried to get the artwork from the Nazis?
That might have been the Quentin Tarantino one.
Okay.
Was that the Quentin Tarantino?
Which one was the Inglourious?
I don't know. The point is, well, the one where he said, "I want my Nazi scalps," and they carved a forehead swastika into the guys that thought they were going to leave and act like they were never Nazis. And you said, "Okay, Tommy, I hope that made sense to you." Whatever you said.
Okay. Yeah, you've got some references. I don't always follow your references, dude. You've got a good mind.
I know. I wish you could just follow the direct thing said to you.
I can. I'm following you right now.
Okay. So, what did you mean when you said I haven't done the good things you have? I mean, if we wanted to get real competitive about it, I don't think you can touch the good things I've done.
Maybe not. I don't really want to compete.
Good, because you're no competition to any of us.
You don't value the same things I do.
Exactly, because when you say you were a slave to your paycheck and you gave up your health and your happiness, I would think you were giving up all those things for the happiness of your family, which is what we consider the paycheck. I don't have a paycheck because I have nobody that depends on me. But when I do have someone that depends on me, I don't care if I'm slaving away if I can watch them happily get my support like a Christmas morning that I have to go in for third shift on.
Right. Well, this is the excuse that many men and women tell themselves.
Not an excuse.
Can I finish?
See, the family is their reason.
So I'm going to reply to what you said. That idea that we can get satisfaction knowing that we're going to this job that treats us like shit, that we don't enjoy, but we can push ourselves through that with the excuse that I'm doing this for them, for others. And that is true. And there is some nobility to that. However, it's being dishonest to you. It's saying your life is not worth it. You're not worth happiness unless you can provide it to others. And that's exactly what I used to do. And I know a lot of other people have been conditioned to do this. This is what, for me, again, it was a symptom of the trauma, feeling abandoned and unsafe as a child. To be loved, I had to earn my love, right? I had to be perfect and follow the rules and get the jobs done and do all of that. And so my happiness, even when I was young, the games, the stories I told myself, my happiness didn't matter. All that mattered was my ability to provide happiness to others. And Tom, that is not healthy. That is exactly how codependent relationships
What's
happen.
not healthy is you backstaging me and taking what I didn't say on a little rant. Because you're saying your family, your source of happiness, oh, that's an excuse. What other thing is above that you would make that excuse over your family because there's something above them that makes you happy? We all can get better education, better jobs until robots, which is soon. But man, you are out there, dude. And there's no other grown ass man that'll approach you out here but me. And there's grown ass men that are fucking confused. And don't even get me started on Trexie's punk Irish ass. She plays.
Yeah, I won't let you get started. How about that, Tom? I did what you wanted. And I think it's the best idea. Tom, I love you, my friend, but I really don't know what you think you're accomplishing. I mean, you're missing the point of what I'm saying. You're not really helping me get the points across very clearly. Um, I actually think I might do better without you at this point, my friend. I'm wondering, Tom, can I visit you on your panel so you and I
I
can
don't
talk?
have a piano! Now let me ask you this question, Jack.
So that's a
How
no.
many people are out here pretending to accomplish things?
So that's a no.
I didn't say no. Are you hearing and understanding?
Yes. It sounds like you
I don't
don't
think you
have.
are. Because you say
Sounds
I'm
like
not helping you, I'm helping everybody, Jack.
no, you're not.
See, what you lost sight of and your daddy lost sight of is you guys aren't the help. You guys are the hindrance. You guys are the confusion. You guys are the narcissistic games out here. Oh, he shook his head no.
Tom. Um,
Faggot.
Tom, that's you, buddy. That which you are accusing me of is you. You're acting like this. I don't know, man. You're a better dude than that, Tom. That's what I know. I know that you and I had our misunderstandings, but Tom, you're a good dude, and I don't have any ill feelings toward you. I do have respect and admiration. I just wish it wasn't so one-sided. But actually, in the greater realm, this is how I am. I have respect and care for the majority, and yet you see how people return it to me. Now, what if this is tied to what the scripture is talking about? That when I chose to devote myself and the Spirit started to join me, that people started getting triggered by me. They start reacting to me. Not necessarily because of what I say or do, but mostly because what they think and what they feel. Now, what someone thinks and feels is their lesson to learn from. And this is where I've been studying me. I pay attention to what I think and what I feel. And I've been learning how to focus away, right? When I start getting these dark thoughts of anger and sadness and blah blah blah, right? The darkness. When I start finding myself in the darkness, I've practiced and I remember now more often to look away, refocus, realign my mind into something else. And I've learned a lot of tricks for this, methods to calm myself down, methods to reset, methods to regroup. Why? Well, I've had plenty of opportunities to get frustrated and angry for a while, but the lessons I've learned, the frustration and the anger, while it may feel right in the moment, it's not who I am. I'm not a frustrated man. I'm not an angry man. I am a man who loves to love. And I bet whoever you are, when you're honest with yourself, I bet there's some of that within you too. You know, occasionally we share some anger, some sadness, some frustration or some fear. Occasionally that happens, but who you really are, I bet you're like me in that way too. You just love to love because love, it just feels right. And it is right. And it really is the answer for us all. Hate will not drive out hate. Only love can do that. Hey, I was about to shut her down, but here, we've got a welcome guest. Welcome back, David Wayne. How are you today?
Going, man. Hey, I'm not going to keep you. Look, I just wanted to get this scripture out there real quick. Luke 21:15. Okay. Before I go into the details of that, people ask you, well, what are you going to do, Jack? What are you going to say when you get there? And that's nothing you could really answer to anybody. It's nothing you could even just imagine yourself. But as a prime example, when you talk to Don Lemon, you was on point.
Thank you.
Luke 21:15. For I will give you a mouth. All you need to do, Jack, is infiltrate and get there. Keep on going. We worry about the words when we get there. You know what I'm saying?
David, thank you.
There's some people
Sincerely.
out there. There's some people out there that's got their eye on you for the good.
I know there is. And thank you.
Keep on going, man. It's good to see you.
Hey, you as well, brother. And that scripture, there's
Yes, sir.
there's a couple of lines like that too,
Yeah.
where God offers that it'll be the spirit of truth that moves you. So
Yep.
I that's actually kind of what I've been trying to do with this as well. When I first started doing these, I used to write out a lot of stuff. Um, and now I'm trusting more in the truth and allowing the truth to flow with me. Thank you,
It's
David.
yes, sir.
Seriously,
That's it.
brother.
It's our actions, man. Keep
It is.
on grinding. Keep on grinding. When we need a shield, reach back. He's got one ready. When we need the sword, it'll be there. Just keep on grinding. Let the ankle biters nip. Like they do. That's just part of life. People are crazy. Hell, I'm crazy. But keep on keeping on, man.
Thank
Good
you.
to see you.
You too, brother. You too.
See you, bud.
I'm going to put you out. I'm going to actually, I think I'm going to start wrapping up. David Wayne, sincerely, thank you for bringing that, the words of scripture. And those words of scripture, they really do apply to all of us. You know, I'm not one who goes around saying, "Oh, turn to the Bible, go to the Bible," but there's many who already know. There's a lot of good wisdom to be found. And what is wisdom if not nourishment for your soul? Because as you align yourself with the wisdom of the old, the wisdom of the old, the knowledge that is timeless and it goes through the ages. Well, there's been many masters of the past and there's been many instructions left for us all. But truly for me, it comes down to everything I've learned. It all points back to the example, the teaching, and the meanings behind Jesus. Love God, love everything you can, and then find more things to love, and then love those things even more. Now, some things to love, you got to let those go. You got to leave them in the past. Unslaved truth. Jack, why are you conversing with Snitch Snafu? Well, that's your name, not mine. Um, for those who may have missed it, I did join Snafu yesterday on a little bit on his stream, and we may actually talk some more online. Snafu is a wild card, but he does pay attention to the bigger picture, believe it or not. to some of the world happenings. And the world happenings, that's where my mind is at. My mind isn't really on this low level panel verse drama nonsense, the argument for content. That's not me. The bigger picture, the greater world, that is what I care about. And so Snafu and I, yeah, we talked a little bit about that yesterday, and we may do it again a little later. The ideas today, happy Labor Day to you, and realize the world we're born into, there is a time for labor, there is a time for work, there's a time for learning, there's a time for loving, but there's always time for joy. I believe that. If you can make that rule for yourself, if you can find joy in your time each day, well, the world becomes a little brighter. I think I got off topic today, the Labor Day, the work and compensation, but I am who I am. I'm grateful for all of you who tuned in, and we'll see what the future brings. Till next time, choose love, peace for everyone, and live without fear. Thank you again. God bless us all. Peace.